I don't know who this guy is. Apparently he was an Iron Man. Terrence D. Howard. This is the guy that is trying to prove that 1 times 1 equals 2. Don't know how you get to that conclusion. Oh no. He has 5 kids. I hope he doesn't corrupt them with his ingenious. Looks like he's actually in quite a few things. I just don't know what they are. I guess he's a pretty notable actor. He hasn't tweeted since 2018, but that's besides the point. I want to go through this proof a little bit with you guys. It's fucking insane. You gotta like strap in for this shit. Let me read it. Unbalanced equation argument. 1 times 1 doesn't equal 1, it equals 2. By Terrence Deshawn Howard. First of all, I just want to say why, I don't know why I have to explain why 1 times 1 actually does in fact equal 1. Let's get to the basics of multiplication. What is multiplication? Let's say you want to do 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, right? Obviously. So what is that? How did we get to 4? You have 2 times. And if you do 1 times 1, it's 1 time. Let us start with our forensic audit here. I don't even know, like, what those 2 words together mean, to be honest. Maybe I shouldn't be the best person to be criticizing his math abilities because, as per the last video, I clearly fucking can't do math. But I know 1 times 1 equals 2. Yet, in the case of 1 times 1 equaling 1, we have an unfinished equation. Because we have 2 1s on one side of the equation and 1 1 on the other side of the equation. That's not what multiplication is. If you're doing 7 times 7 equals 49, you're not going to call that unbalanced or unfinished because 7 and 7 make 14. He's just forgetting about multiplication. He's just trying to do addition is what he's doing. Remember the basic laws of common sense. I wasn't really taught the basic laws of common sense. I don't know what those are. Are we talking about Common Sense by Thomas Paine? The value of either A or B has to be missing from the final product of C. I don't even know what he's trying to say there. Like, it literally, these are regions of my brain that have never fired in their entire lives. Like, my neurons are trying to find connections to understand how his line of reasoning is working, but I can't fucking find it, bro. Let's not jump the gun just yet. Oh, let's not get too hasty with redefining math. Oh my god! I wish I was a mathematician so I could like properly debunk this. Then 1 is added to itself 1 time and you get 2. That's what I'm trying to say. He's doing addition. He said then 1 is added to itself 1 time. That's not what multiplication is. 1 times 1 is 1 time. Fucking actors, bro. I'm a fucking theater major, bro. But sometimes actors are just fucking irritating thinking they know fucking everything, bro. I mean, I get... I guess I'm doing that right now, aren't I? I just tried to drink this with the lid on. I'm not the person to be making a video about mathematics. The only logical reason for 1 times 1 to ever equal or to have ever equaled 1 is because someone forgot to follow the basic rules of multiplication. On that note, I must immediately declare that 1 times 1 equaling 1 is a false statement, and likewise, based upon current practices in the field of mathematics, 1 times any number would equal an unfinished equation, because both sides of the equation could never be equal as long as 1 times 1 equals 1. So 2 times 1 equals 3, apparently. Why did I make the Shane Dawson face? Then all of these impossible unrealities must also be inequalities, must likewise be reconsidered and relabeled as... He sounds like he's manic. I call on all the elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. I call to all the nursery school teachers and kindergarten teachers. I call upon all the schools of higher learning. After thoughtful reflection and literally thousands of hours of observation coupled with 5 decades of deep and contemplative work upon the subject, it has brought me to the inevitable Wait, hold on, 5 decades? How old is he? He's 53! Fuck off! He posted this 5 years ago! He posted this before he turned 53! He posted this when he was 48, bro! It has brought me to the inevitable conclusion that this false concept must have been the brainchild of a godlike figure of some sort. Someone whom the people possibly credited for giving them their multiplication table and their geometry. Is he saying that people didn't invent math? Is he saying God came down and told them their times tables? Some call them the Anunnaki, the sky people, whomever they were that gave the naive generation some 6,000 years ago. Come on, 6,000 years ago is a very long time ago. Our brains weren't really that much different 6,000 years ago. We can't have evolved that much in 6,000 years. People were still people 6,000 years ago. They were no more inferior to us. Sure, we have more technology and we have more knowledge because we have the history to have learned these things now, but we're in no way more superior than anyone 6,000 years ago. They gave that poor misguided people a false axiom upon which to build their world. A false axiom that would behave almost as a bumper for our infantile-like species. A tutor, as it were. A false axiom that would allow for a measure of growth and productivity for that civilization, but would inevitably lead to failure and its inevitable collapse. He's saying sky people gave people 6,000 years ago their multiplication tables, but he's saying he gave them the wrong multiplication tables. Because if we had the real multiplication tables, we would be too powerful. When 1 times 1 equals 1, it is implied that 50% of the potential will be lost at the initial... Why is there so many fucking typos in this? If you're gonna claim that everyone is wrong about multiplication, at least don't have any typos. You start off with 2 values on one side of the equation, and in the process of multiplying them, one of the values goes missing, and nobody cares what happened to it. Question mark. It sounds like Gabby Hanna. Even now, almost 6,000 years later, why is it that only I, in the history of recorded history, has ever asked this question concerning an unbalanced equation? He's fucking delusional or manic. I don't know if he's like mentally ill. Okay, I'm gonna look up Terrence D. Howard mental illness. Terrence Howard is opening up about his childhood and career in a bizarre new interview with Rolling Stone. Howard's earliest memory is of being in the womb. Apparently, his earliest memory is of being in the womb and his mother driving to abort him when she hit a stoplight, which she saw as a sign. The Empire star recalls watching his father murder a man when he was 2 years old as they waited to see Santa at a Cleveland department store. He also talks about how he cured his Bell's palsy as a teenager by shocking his face with wires he attached to a fuse box. Howard spends much of the interview describing teriology, the new form of math he has created that proves 1 times 1 equals 2. The actor spends up to 17 hours a day when he is not working cutting objects out of plastic and binding them together into shapes and held together with copper wires or magnets to help prove his theory. There are also crystals on some of the pieces as well as LED lights. Bro, it sounds like he has schizophrenia. Oh, I kind of feel bad now shitting on him. Oh, no, I don't feel as bad. Apparently he beats women. Well, I mean, this is from some anonymous person on DCUrbanMom.com. But someone said that man needs medication or perhaps even an inpatient stay at a facility. Great actor, though. He also needs to stop beating up women. Jesus Christ. Wonder if this is why he beats women. Holy fuck! Terrence D. Howard beating women. What the fuck? The first headline that comes up is Terrence Howard admits hitting his wife, quote unquote, I lost my mind. I feel less bad shitting on him now. In 2000, he assaulted a flight attendant. 2001, he assaulted his estranged wife. 2005, he was involved in another violent incident with 2 strangers. 2010 to 2011, he married his second wife, and it took less than a week for alleged violence to begin. 2012, he attacked his girlfriend. 2013, he reconciled with his girlfriend and then punched her in the face. What the fuck? Boy, oh boy. Let's continue. In In light of this exercise, I feel that it is necessary for us to throw out the false positives, add erroneous results. 1 times 1 equals 1 is an equation that predicts a negatively discharging universe without the ability to overcome the radiational expense of magnetism. These are just words. Magnetism, because one would have to have a negative discharge in order for it not to bond with the second one, and a universe made up of all discharging particles could never assemble into molecules and other more complex gravitational and centripetal effects of electricity to accumulate atoms of low potential together into systems of high potential and ultimately build this wondrous universe abundant in dynamic energy space exclamation. Therefore, 1 times 1 equals 1 must be written as 1 times 1 equals 2. 1 times 2 equals 3, 1 times 3 equals 4, 2, 1 times... And then he keeps going on forever and ever, and he says infinity and beyond. I want to show you my favorite tweet that I've ever found under this tweet. I can't find the tweet that I thought was really funny. If I can find it, I'll put it right here. I did actually find the tweet that I was talking about, and I looked through his account and I found out that he actually made the account entirely to insult him and the people that were agreeing with him in the replies. So there's all the screenshots on the screen. Thanks DCUrbanMom.com for telling me about his womb memories. Peace out. Fuck that guy for being a wife beater and being a dumbass.